Alright, hello everybody, Resonance here, and today I'm going to showcase another turn-based strategy game called Faeria, which is free to play on Steam. Faeria can easily be described as the best parts of Magic the Gathering, but played on a board. The most interesting part of Faeria, though, is that the board starts completely empty, so players must take turns building the board to create space for their creatures, structures, and spells. So, this game also borrows some aspects from real-time strategy games, in that you can build structures and gather resources, and any resources that you collect are not lost at the end of your turn, which is a lot different than games like Duelist and Hearthstone. Before I show you the game, let me take a brief moment to thank you all for taking the time to support the content that I do for games beyond just Age of Empires 2. Leaving a like really helps the longevity of the channel and motivates me to continue producing more AoE 2 content. Without further ado, let's get ready to jump into a game. Welcome to the stream, guys. Something I'm very curious about is, out of all of the games that I have played that are not AoE 2, like, what are some of the ones that you guys have enjoyed the most? Was it Pokemon, Duelist, Armello? Is it this game? Is it Prismata? That stuff I'm always... It was Stalin versus the Martians? That one's... Stalin versus the Martians, I think we can all agree, was the best game I've ever played. Glad to hear that you're enjoying the stream, Etspois. See you, Johnny Jellyfish, have a good one. You just saw the trailer on Zero Empires' channel? Oh, it's really funny, Makobo. Thank you so much, Twist, for subscribing to me on Twitch. Really appreciate it. So we're gonna send back probably just the Mirror Phantasm's too expensive to keep. Alright. So, I'm going to start the game off here. So again, these are the mana costs in the top left of the card, and then this is how many lands it requires me to use underneath it. I had to have, here I can decide whether, I want to build a lake, a forest, a mountain, a desert, or I can gain additional, like, mana, or Faeria as we call it in this game. This is the amount of Faeria I have. It's not actually lost at the end of your turn, and you gain 3 every turn, so it's pretty cool. Or I could draw a card. There's a ton of depth to this game. I do think that the only play, though, here is to just put a lake and then drop Ludwin down. So the idea here is that I'm going to build like another lake the next turn and then move Ludwin over there, and he's going to gather me an additional 1 Faeria every turn. So basically, if I have a creature adjacent to a Faeria well, I gain an additional Faeria every turn, provided my creatures survive for longer than a turn. This kind of puts a sort of like resource RTS management style feel to the game, especially since you don't lose your Faeria at the end of your turn. So this allows you to save up for some big plays if you're that kind of guy. So I actually don't even need to move Ludwin up, but I think I will. I was going to say I could like Lore Thief here, but I think that I just put Spring Mochi down. I think I want the Spring Mochi down first, because the next card that I draw with the original cost of 7 or higher cost 3 less, and then I want to draw cards with Lore Thief, just in case I draw something that happens to be more expensive than that. I think one of the things that this game is perhaps... This is a game, again, that I recognize has tremendous strategic depth, which is why I showcase games like these. I play Hearthstone, even though this game is nothing like Hearthstone, because I find it really fun, a nice way to unwind after a particularly long day at work. But I play a game like this because I recognize that it has tremendous strategic depth, and I hope that you guys watching it can appreciate it as much as I do and be like, hey, yeah, this is a game I don't really understand, but... this is really cool, and I love to see game designers and developers just experimenting with ideas like this. But I do often feel like this game is just missing a little bit of something, and perhaps one of the things with this game that we've learned so far is that if you're losing in Faeria, unless it's to like a rush deck, someone who just tries to build a straight phallic line towards your hero/god person, you tend to lose very slowly. And then that's one of the things I like about a game like Prismata is that once you're losing, you just lose. In this game, games tend to drag a bit, and I'm wondering if that... I mean, like, it's really great when the game is close, but perhaps when it's not close, it is not as great. So here, I think what I want to do is actually just make sure that I have access to both Faeria wells, I think is the way to go. Yeah, I think Makobo Etspois is talking about the trailer that Zero Empires and I worked on for Return of the Kings coming this weekend. Something we're both very excited about. Creatures attack each other, they exchange their attack damages. Their health is on the right, attack is on the left, and the creatures do not heal at the end of your turn. They heal up at the start of your turn. So I really want to start gathering from his Faeria Wells, of course, because my deck has a lot of synergy with that stuff. But I also want to start gathering from these Faeria Wells, too. I love to put down some planes, but since my deck is mono blue and I actually run no neutral creatures, I feel like I need to... Okay, I probably want to put the Spring Mochi here and then draw again with the Lore Thief the following turn, and then here I can start moving this guy forward. Probably keep Ludwin over here, maybe I can like sneak him up to this Faeria Well later. This game certainly, though, does have an absolutely beautiful art style. It's very unique. The art team that worked in this game is just incredible. I also love the soundtrack, but the soundtrack is not on YouTube for some reason. Mirror Phantasm is a cool looking card and a cool card. I love cards with, like, as much utility as this. You know, it reminds me of some of my favorite cards in Hearthstone, like Keeper of Uldaman, which I feel has like a ton of skill to it. 4 mana, 3/4, Battle Cry, change minion stats to 3/3. And then here it's transform another creature into another 5/5 Mirror Phantasm. This card's so cool. Normally it costs 7, but you know, since we run the Spring Mochi, I love this deck. Just don't like the part where I have to gather from any of Faeria Wells because I'm a pussy and I like to play defensive. I probably end up having to play this Mirror Phantasm this turn. I kind of want to play a lake over here or something, just so I can block him a bit, but... I can play Mirror Phantasm for 0, this is a respectable tempo. Normally I like to use this defensively, but here I think I just want to put some bodies on the board and just kind of roll with it from there. Maybe we draw 2 more cards. Keep drawing them cards. I usually like to put the Sunken Tower on a plain spot, because I kind of want to make sure that... so here I'm going to activate this to move this mountain away from my Faeria Well, because... don't want him getting up in my business. Welcome to stream, Twisted Feed. Good to see ya. Welcome to stream as well, Karma Lost. Hello, Pika Mula. Okay, so... this is kind of awkward because I don't want to trade a 5/5 into a 5/2, but I don't really have a good answer to that. Playing Mirror Phantasm doesn't tell me either, so... you know how it is. If you can hear a shower in the background, that's one of my roommates. They only shower when I stream. I guess I have to do this. And what are the odds of me drawing into some removal? Not high. I mean, I suppose I could have let him make that trade for me, but I don't think he would. Let's see. Where do I want to put this guy? Should probably want to put this guy over here, because he can only move on water tiles or these empty ones. So I think that's fine. I'd probably move the Lore Thief up, because he can't play cards on spots where I have minions. So we just keep moving line forward. Faeria does not get spent when you activate the Sunken Tower's ability. It loses health, which is a little confusing, I realize. Faeria is spent every time I play a card of any type, whether it's like a spell card or it is like a creature, if that makes sense. If you don't stream, they won't shower, says Etspois. You're absolutely correct, which creates a very interesting living dynamic. Keep moving the line forward. It's interesting because I feel like the AI doesn't offer me enough of a challenge, but the people online I literally can't win against no matter what I do. So it's just the life we must live. I want to get this Mochi over there to start gathering Faeria to discount my Wave Crash Colossus. Just one other thing that's fun with the games like these, and this applies to Age of Empires, really any game, is imagining the conversation I'm having with you guys right now to someone who doesn't play this game. It sounds like I'm speaking gibberish. Okay, well, I think I can just drop a lake over here and start wave crashing my face into this guy. Do I trade into this? I actually think I do. I think that's fine. Just defeat S. So is this game like Hearthstone? Never played Hearthstone or Faeria. It's not really like Hearthstone. This game is like Magic the Gathering, I would say. Magic the Gathering meets Fire Emblem, I guess, or Magic the Gathering meets Duelist. Like there are like multiple types of lands, mana, you gotta build a board. It really is a very different game than Hearthstone, I would say. If you like board games and card games, if you like Magic the Gathering, you would love this game, I think. Good evening, The Fury. Welcome to the live stream. If you have any questions about Twisted Feet, I'd be happy to do what I can to make this game make more sense to you. So we're going to bop this guy in the face. I don't really have a good way to... This deck is very not great versus creatures with high attack. I'm gonna let him do the trade here, I think. Deny him a spot. I mean, I could very easily play Aurora Mythmaker, actually. And make that trade, yeah. That's actually pretty good. This is also why Aurora Mythmaker is good, because I like creatures with like a small body, but that can buff my other creatures, because then I can just leave that guy back here to gather Faeria. These are things I've picked up on my own, because it's very hard to learn this game otherwise, so... I might just inch the line forward for Ludwin. Get him to start generating me some value. Yeah, it's got a little bit of D&D plus Magic feel to it, for sure. I would like to do more Hearthstone content, but I recognize it's not super popular, so again, when you guys leave a thumbs up and stuff, it helps. Hearthstone is a game that I don't necessarily play for its extreme strategic depth, where I play a game like this because I get infinite entertainment out of being horrendously lost and confused, and like I really don't know what's going on. So we're just gonna bop that, hit him in the face for 7. Transform this Mirror Phantasm into a Mirror Phantasm. Ooh. Yo, dog. I guess it really doesn't matter what I snag there. Oh, I guess I probably should have put a land. I've already won, basically. I can't imagine that he has a way to answer 2 Wave Crash Colossi. I play Hearthstone because I think it's an incredibly fun and well-designed game. I don't play it for its like strategic depth, I guess. Whereas I play games like this, Duelist, Pokemon, and whatnot, because they have so much strategy to it. It really scratches that creative itch I have. And that competitive... study-oriented. I just love looking at all these cards and just theory crafting. So in some respect, like Hearthstone like doesn't fit that well with what I like to do on my channel, but it's something that's very fun for me. So maybe I should be doing more of that anyway, and hopefully people are open to the idea of me just having a good time. Because I think that Hearthstone is the type of game that people would enjoy more if they took it less seriously. And if I go to the Hearthstone subreddit, it's full of a lot of incredibly bitter people, and it's not... But it comes from a good place. It's because they love the game and they want to see it succeed. But at the same time, I feel like... like asking to continually get hurt again, I guess. I think Hearthstone is the type of... It's a lighthearted game, you know? It's the type of thing where... It feels better if you're, I think, experimenting and you're not trying to just get to Legend. And you're just, building decks and enjoying the ride. So I could Flamespitter turn 1 here because that will allow me to... I think that's the right play. So the thing here is if I play this Flamespitter turn 1, I'm kind of wasting the Battle Cry, the gift. It does something when I play it from my hand. At the same time, if I play another mountain this turn... I can move him over here and start gathering me Faeria, and I am so greedy in every game I play that I just want to get money! So, where do I want to put this mountain? Depends if I want to get to his Faeria Wells or not, or if I want to just start defending myself, and maybe I want to start defending myself. I mean, I love Brazen Arson subreddit. I think it comes from a good place, it's just that, I think that Hearthstone is the type of game that is most fun when you don't take it super seriously. I mean, obviously I try to win, but, I would like to win with Confuse. Here comes the frogs. So this does not trade favorably, but I can Seifer's Wrath him next turn. So that's fine, right? And then I can make sure that I just gain some seek value by starting to gather in that direction too. Just a guy says this because you play too much AoE, you can't stop thinking about economy. That is 100% completely true, just a guy. Dreams at night, I wake up in a cold sweat because I didn't have enough villagers or enough town centers. Faeria says exactly, I love making wacky decks in Hearthstone. Really agree, that's really fun. And I think that people, decent chunk of my viewer base might be looking at Hearthstone the wrong way too, I guess. And something I want to bring to the table that's different is those sort of like wacky decks, the fun side of the game, showing that it is possible to enjoy it and not want to kill yourself. I swear it's possible to have fun playing Hearthstone if you're like a competitive player. You just have to take it a little bit less seriously. I think I want to block him. Because, a lot of people say, Rez, I don't want you doing any Hearthstone content because there's so many Hearthstone channels. Most of them are dead on the inside. I would like to... I think that I can certainly bring a unique take to the table. Not all of them are dead on the inside, but, most of them are. They're, like, very, very serious competitive streams of just, They're either, like, consistently bitching about the game or they're just not having a good time. And there is plenty of that, I would agree. But, thankfully, I don't really care about being the best player in the world in Hearthstone. Although I do strive to be having the most fun in Hearthstone. This card's pretty cool. And I can teach you, too, how to enjoy that game. I swear to God, I'm always getting these shitty trades. I mean, he's going to make the trade for me, so I don't really care, right? But I'm not going to hit him. Man, this denies him, I guess, from moving a little bit further forward. I think if I do this, I can drop Rune in. I love that card. I can just start dashing straight to him. No, Troy. Resist the urge to take a portrait. Indeed, Spurlum. I don't know why this is significantly less popular than other games, but I don't know. This game is a lot harder to watch, I think, for some reason. I was pleasantly surprised with the reception to Duelist, though, because I feel like Duelist is one of those games that's very polarizing with the art style. Welcome to the stream, Eyewitness Chickens. Oh, it's great to see you again. Thanks, Just a Guy. You really help out the channel. Oh, yeah. Animated Armor and Violet Illusionist in the Tavern Brawl are really fun. The Fury. So we're just gonna bop this guy. Perhaps one of the issues with this game as well is that, wow, he didn't take the trade. That has to be the wrong play. I really just guarantee it. Really, he didn't take that trade? All right, I'll play Seifer here, and I will gonna eat him. Gotta take that trade. Yeah, one of the things with Duelist is that it has a very inconsistent art style, right? Like, you've got these, like, the anime style, like, character portraits, and then we got the pixel art, and then we got the beautiful hand-painted backgrounds. And I feel like all of those, even though I like them, I can certainly see how that would turn off players. Very interesting that he just does not want... Oh, yeah. Does not want to trade. We're gonna put a Grove Guardian next to him, I think. I like Brian Kibler a lot as a streamer. I actually had the honor of meeting him in person at BlizzCon, and he is as pleasant and handsome as he is on the internet. Not all Hearthstone streamers are dead on the inside, but I don't think there are enough that aren't dead on the inside. Like, there are guys like Noxious is someone that I would compare my style to a lot. And that he loves to experiment with crazy decks. Because I think, like, the real fun in Hearthstone is you look at a card like Confuse, for example, or Spreading Madness, and just asking yourself, how would Blizzard want me to use this card? What can I do with this? I treat it like a puzzle. It's like a problem-solving exercise. Blizzard has released this weird janky card. How do I win with it? And it's great to see guys like Noxious, Day9, Kibler, Disguised Toast, etc. And many more, Experimenting with those things. It's just the vast majority of Hearthstone streams and content is not like that. And even Noxious is, like, really not enjoying the game right now at all. So your bastion of positivity and fascinating decks are certainly limited. So I wish that people were more open to the idea, and I hope that if you guys understand a little bit more about why I enjoy those games, then maybe you would love them too. That is the hope. Yeah, we'll play more of this deck. I'm digging it. I'm digging it, man. Oh yeah, Kibler is great and handsome. By all means, feel free to. The Fury says Kibler just doesn't just play meta decks, and he explains every single move he makes really clearly, and that's why he's an excellent streamer. Kibler also streams Duelist. Look at this card art. This is so cute. So cute. Sea Lion says a game of pre-alpha that some of my friends have been playing, which you can only play if you're in the pre-alpha, is Shardbound, which seems like a more fun duelist and an art style that doesn't bother me. Right, so games like Duelist and Faeria I love a lot, but I think there are things that they do, Prismata as well, that hold them back from ever being as good as Hearthstone, which disappoints me because, at least from a gameplay standpoint, I think that these games are... I don't like to use the word better because it's very subjective, but they're certainly like more strategically in depth. There's a lot more to them, but I find Hearthstone infinitely more fun than those games, and that's why I keep coming back to Hearthstone. Because even though these games scratch my competitive itch, they're missing something. And with Duelist, also I would like to see them like get really big. That's why I like to try and raise awareness for them, to give the devs like more feedback. They're not going to read the YouTube comments, but you can, by all means, like leave some posts on the forums or Reddit. But I want to see these games succeed because I think it's good for Hearthstone to see those other games just see more competition, have the game build up. But like a game like Duelist, I really feel like the inconsistent art style, even though I personally love it, and I think that it is really well done, I do think ultimately it holds back the game a lot. Mostly just because it's so inconsistent, and it's just not for everybody, whereas like Hearthstone is a game that's just so pleasing on the eyes, so easy to read, and it is very, very difficult to design. Maybe me playing games like this is an excuse for me to talk about game design if anyone actually gives a shit. I find game design to be infinitely fascinating. I'm actually gonna be greedy this game. I want money. It is very difficult to design a game that is very in-depth strategically, but is easy on the eye, something that's readable for viewers. I look at a game like Prismata and Duelist, and I feel like those games are... a very, very well-presented game is something where you can look at it and not really know much about the game, but can understand generally the state of the board, for example. In Hearthstone, it's very easy to tell who is winning or who is losing almost all the time. And in Duelist, it's not. Because in Duelist, it's harder to tell at a glance, one, which one of the guys is you, and like two, what creatures belong to who. I mean, they put the red square underneath, which helps, but it's just not, it's not there yet, I feel like. And that's an incredibly complicated issue. UI design is something that I am no expert on at all. I can only recognize that as a consumer, consumers are very good at telling you, and this is something that you learn with social media and whatnot, if you ever run, if you're ever a community manager or something, is that players are very good at identifying the existence of problems, but less good at identifying solutions to them. And as a player here, I identify that Duelist, games like Duelist and Prismata are very difficult to read, but I don't know how to fix that. I don't even know if it's feasible to fix that. So that's just one of those game design conundrums. So if I put down one more forest, I can start dropping some Warstorm champions. Feels pretty good, man. If I move up this way, I mean, I really just want to get my Grimguard into the mix, though, rather than get more money. So maybe we'll just do that. This feels almost like a waste here, but I've never played this card before, and I'm really excited, so I just need to do that. Oh, that felt really good. Yeah, so anyway, Shardbound is a game... Thank you so much, 95XTX, for the 14-month resub. Thank you, thank you. So, Shardbound is a game that I heard about through Day 9 stream, and is one that I am, like, super excited for. Shardbound is exactly my type of game, and I can't wait to try it. I actually just got into the alpha yesterday. I just didn't have time to play it. I showed off today, but I've played even less of that than Faeria, so I felt like I should show off this game at some point, because this game, it's got the CLG potential, man. But yeah, one of the things with this game though is I really feel like the AI offers me like no challenge whatsoever, and that I cannot, for the life of me, beat people at all ever. This game has such a small player base that like, you know, you finish all the tutorials and stuff, you jump into the mix, and you just get pounded. And then I think that compounds the situation, and it just keeps new players from really getting in here. There's a nasty snowball effect. I don't really know how to address that either from a developer standpoint, unless you have some like sick marketing campaign. But I don't really know how you... Because if you don't have enough players, you're not going to get players. Building a game is hard. I love this dash too. Oh yeah. Oh, I just realized if I put a thing there, they could have already dashed for it. Because so here I feel like the AI isn't doing anything, and that's weird. Is this when I lose in one turn? Like I don't really get this. But people just crush me. It's not even fair. And that's why I never come back to Faeria. Well, I mean, I keep doing it because I recognize this game is really, really well designed. I just have... Yeah, I struggle with the thought that I cannot beat anybody online, and the AI is very boring. So... Interesting easy line. Yeah, I got my eyes on Shardbound. I have my eyes on Prismata too. Prismata, though, I feel like the thing that's holding it back is the small player base size and presentation. I don't know if Faeria is a hard game to read. I feel like they've done a lot to improve it, and that this game is just fucking beautiful. It is beautiful. And you know, from a viewer standpoint, I feel like I can sort of tell what my stuff is, but maybe darker isn't the way to go, and just maybe there's a way to make it more immediately obvious. What stuff is what, but I feel like this game is easier to read. So not entirely sure what this game really needs. I would say though that one of the things I've noticed is that if you're losing, you tend to lose very slowly, and that there is, at present, as of me recording this, it's very hard to get into the game because the AI is so not good, and the AI needs to be slightly tougher than it is. It's really just weak. It's super weak. And if you play online, I find like it's very hard to beat anybody, even in casual or at rank 25. It's very hard to get into the game, which is like a little bit less of a problem with Duelist. Like Duelist at least has a slightly more challenging AI, even though it's not great. But the way the ranking system is set up and just has a larger player base, so maybe this game just needs more people. Obviously, the color system in this game is really, really cool, and they all have like different themes associated with them. Makobo says, is the scoring system in AU2 an attempt to solve a similar problem? Give an at-a-glance overview of the game. Oh my god! That is insightful, Makobo. Welcome to Stream Vegiside. I would love to just sit here and have little like game design discussions with people. It's so fascinating. There's isn't life so beautiful with all these... So much intricacy, so much strategy, even in building the game, rather than the game itself. So cool. I love to think about exactly why is AoE 2 such a fun game? Why is it so popular to this day? Why is it still my favorite game? Because it's old. I'm getting old. I'm 22. And yeah, I think that the score system in AoE 2 is pretty brilliant. Not too many games actually do this, but score is a good thing for spectators. The player score that's in the game, you know, if you press F4, you turn on that number. Because it's easier for a spectator to look at this, or just a player who's no idea what's going on, and to generally tell the situation, like what team is winning or losing. It's not perfect, but the way it's set up is actually pretty good. The algorithm is complicated enough; it kind of encompasses everything. I think scouting really inflates it a lot, though. But I guess if you're scouting really poorly, chances are you're not playing that well. But yeah, I think that scouting is one of the things that scores is one of the things developers can do to communicate that type of information. Obviously, scores don't work as well, though, in a game like Faeria. You just need to be able to immediately communicate the state of the board. I think Faeria does that kind of well. It's harder in Duelist, of course, so obviously there's a reason why a lot of these problems are still existing, because they're very complicated. It's harder in Duelist because it's your character moves, and so it's like less clear at a glance for the random spectator who has no idea what's going on, like whose guys are whose relative to what. There's no like clear sides. Obviously, like one of the problems with games that aren't that lack a really solid presentation is that even though they are amazing and so much fun to play, which is not a problem for existing players who just get to enjoy all that depth and experience that, it's just harder for the community to build and for the game to get as huge as a game like Hearthstone, which is just so polished on the UI side of things. It's very complicated. Welcome Jazzpaw to the stream. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Shardbound. It's a game I don't know too much about, but you just tell me a turn-based strategy game with a certain amount of depth on a board and whatnot. And sold, I'll buy all of them. And I think Hearthstone has a lot of strategy to it too, which is not immediately obvious underneath all the hilarious amounts of RNG. But I also think the RNG is fun and sort of adds to it too. So yeah. I think that's all the Faeria I will do for now. Maybe I'll play like a quick round of Duelist after this, because it has been like a short stream. So yeah, well maybe I'll do a little bit of Duelist for just a short while, and then call the end of this stream. Clearly Faeria is not one of the more popular things I've done. Maybe it'll be different on YouTube, but again, like you guys who take the time to support the content I do for stuff beyond AoE 2, you guys really, you guys the true supporters. Really help build the longevity of the channel, just give me an outlet to express myself, and just bring in people from a wider variety of games. It's very beneficial for not only my channel and the AoE2 community at all to support that kind of stuff, because we want to expose more people to Age of Empires. We want to keep it growing. And if someone sees like a video I do for Hearthstone, they're like, hey, I think that this guy did a good job. I wonder what else he does. And they're like, wow, people still play Age of Empires 2. I gotta download that game. That happens all the time. I've shown up to countless like Prismata, Duelist streams, and whatnot, and people always tell me, oh my god, I can't believe that Age of Empires 2 still has like a competitive scene. It's still being played. There's an HD remake on Steam, because everyone knows Age of Empires 2. So I think it's just really good for the community at large if we allow our content creators in AoE 2 to feel like they can branch out and expose more people to Age of Empires 2. You can find more information on Duelist on my YouTube page. But anyway, welcome to the stream, Togoraka. We'll be right back after the break. I really hope that you guys have been enjoying this so far. I'd love to hear your thoughts on a little bit of like design discussion, and I'll post this on YouTube next week, so please do take the time to stop by, leave a thumbs up. We'll be right back. Even if you think this game is boring, isn't it beautiful and doesn't have a great soundtrack? I love this song. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Oh yeah, and the other reason I do stuff like this is that actually not every one of my viewers plays Age of Empires 2. Most of them do, but not everyone does. And I need to give those guys a reason to stick around too. I also happen to really enjoy those games. It helps keep me sane and excited. Just experiment. Alright, now we'll be right back.